Okay, we're live, Friday Night Live with Clyde. We're talking wristwatches and wristwatch gossip. I just woke up. It's Saturday morning in Australia. It's 9:25 a.m. I just woke up. We had a very, very foggy night last night, and the airport, apparently 80, I don't know, they said 80 flights were diverted. I don't know about that. But a number of flights were diverted to other airports. So, yeah. So, Clyde, you're army trained, up early to bed. How many hours sleep? How many hours?
Early to bed, early to rise. Well, I hate to say this. Let me give you some coming attractions for someone that's a little further down the track. Yeah. Sleep gets harder. Uninterrupted sleep. Yeah, uninterrupted sleep gets harder. Yeah, I'm almost like a toddler. I have to go to bed at the same time, or I'm kind of PHUKED.
Yeah, I see. So, okay. So, okay, got you. So if you, I know if I miss my sleep cycle, if I'm really tired, I gotta sleep. Otherwise, I get over it. And I don't. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now let's have a talk here. So you've got a new watch. You bought that watch, or what's the go?
I bought it.
Okay, it's not a bubble back for starters. Okay.
Is it a semi bubble back?
Yeah. Look, now that's not to say I don't like it. I didn't say that. Just back the truck up. The truck up there. Now, I'm just got it on my computer. We're going to share this with the audience. Just bear with me, please. Bear with me. Hang on. Hang on. Hello? You still there?
Still here.
Okay. Can you see that now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So this is a... yeah, it's one of these early Oyster Perpetuals. Very, very early piece. I don't even think that's a screw-in crown. Is that a screw-in crown?
No, it's not. I was just discovering that. No.
Yeah. It's a very early Oyster Perpetual. What now? I'd have to see the back. That's the giveaway sign that it's a semi-bubble back. That's the giveaway sign there. So we'll just put you up there. Okay, just turn that around.
Dun 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 dun.
So it's not how many? What carat gold is that?
18 karat.
18 karat. Wow. Look, I got to tell you, I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. How many mils is that? 34.
34 mils, but actually,
that's pretty big for that day. For the day.
Yeah.
It's very big. So what year is it from?
They're thinking 1952, but I almost think it has to be earlier than that. It's a reference 6085.
6085. 6085. Wow. That's beautiful, Clyde. I don't know what you think of it. It's not a bubble back. Okay, let's just clarify this here. It's definitely not a bubble back. I'll show you what a bubble back is actually smaller. I think they're about 30 mils, actually, to be honest with you.
Or 31.
Yes. So I'm just going to show. We'll bring that screen up now. I'm just going to stop sharing. I'm just going to share again a different screen. Here we go. This is what a bubble back looks like. See, that's what a bubble back looks like. Okay.
Yeah.
So that they're actually a little bit smaller.
Also, I think 14K, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They might have had 18K for different markets. I'm not a bubble back expert. I've never owned one. I have never owned a bubble back, but it's called a bubble back because of, look at the back on it. It's like a bubble, you know?
Right.
This was sort of the first automatic wristwatch, I think, wasn't it? The first automatic commercial sort of wristwatch.
And the reason why the reason for the bubble back is that they wanted to put the automatic movement in the existing Oyster case. So the bubble back was their way of cheating a little bit. It made a little bit of extra room for the thicker automatic movement. Yeah,
no, that's correct, and it's a very, very. I think they're a beautiful watch. Personally, I really do love them. It's interesting that you bought one. What made you buy one? Can I ask you that?
Well, actually, I was at the show and I saw a couple of bubble backs. I think we've talked about it before. I think you were suggesting to keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, I think this is better than a bubble back, to be honest with you. Like a bubble back is probably too small.
Right.
Okay. But this is like a semi bubble back.
Yeah, I just sent the watch off to have the dial refinished because it's all dirty.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Clyde.
Awesome. Look, they said it'll look better than new.
Yeah, no, that is actually, looking at that dial there, that's an original dial, which is very important. We're joking. You're joking, Clyde. It's an original dial, and it's interesting that it's got a 369 dial on it. That's quite special.
Kind of an explorer-ish dial.
Explorer dial. Yeah, exactly. Very, very nice. Look, it's a I think it's a cool piece. I don't think you can really go wrong with that. I don't think you can go wrong with it. It's a very interesting. I love it. I love it. I love that second hand there with the little circle on the end of the second hand. I got to tell you, one thing I really loved about my, was my Patek 5035. The 5035, which was the annual calendar, it had a second hand, a bluish second hand, and it reminded me of a 1930s, 1940s, 1950s sort of the way they used to do the second hand. So I really do love that piece. That's a great piece. And that bezel is also, I remember many years ago, I had a, it wasn't an automatic. It was a manual wind, similar vintage, right?
Right.
And it had a similar type of bezel. That bezel that you've got there, it had a similar type of bezel to that. It was actually a steel watch with a gold bezel, which was, I believe it was correct actually. But yeah, no, it was certainly an interesting piece. And no, I think that's a great piece. The big problem is getting them serviced because parts are hard to get now. But right. That's probably not a big issue. If it's running and it's going okay, you're probably not going to wear it every day anyhow. It's a special sort of watch.
No, but also I had Clifton over at Clifton's Watch Hospital check it out, and he basically took it out and inspected it, put it on a couple of machines. He said she's actually in really good shape. I think it was adjusted a little bit, but wonderful. Actually, here's the funny part. I almost think I got close to getting arrested.
Why's that?
Well, that's actually out of Uberoki's private stash.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about bubble back, a couple of different ones. And he said the real, the 5512s, no, that's a Submariner shit. Anyway, he said the smaller ones are 31. He said unless you're going to flip it or give it to a female, it's too small. And he was talking about this one. We've been going back and forth about it. So he was seeing a member in the hospital, the state hospital, not in the best area of town. Yeah. So he's like, well, I'm getting in there. And he's also going to check with some pickers and see if his pickers and scavengers are rustling anything else good up on the local scene. That's why you can't get any goddamn good Rolexes here. But, you might as well be in the system than against it. Well, anyway, so he said, I'll meet you there. Just let me know. he's like, you know, the hospital's close to downtown. So I give him a call and say, I am almost there. He's like, great. I know what I'll run out of the hospital. You meet me in front. So I'm walking around holding a large amount of cash in my pocket, looking very nervous in a bad side of town.
But you're near the hospital.
Walking around. What?
You're near the hospital, but
in front of the hospital, yeah. It's like the trauma center.
Okay.
So he's walking with a very expensive watch, looking nervous, looking around. So we reach each other. So I'm reaching in my jacket, pulling out a large amount of cash. He's reaching in pocket, handing me
the watch
in his closed fist a watch. And then at which point the police pull up.
What did they say to you?
Literally. I mean, they I mean, stopped. You could tell they were like checking us out like, what the, you know, because large cash, something in his hand.
Are you allowed to do a transaction in the middle of the street? I can't see what law you've broken. I'm not an attorney, but I can't see what law you've broken.
They thought we were doing a drug deal.
They can think anything they like. They can think anything they like. Some Americans believe you guys went to the moon. Okay, you can think anything you like. I still can't see what crime has been broken here.
None has been. It would have been pulled over, probable cause, a Terry stop versus Terry versus Ohio, Supreme Court, United States, 1965. We can go into details if you want to, or we can talk about watches. Anyway, so anyway, we just looked at him. We looked at him and said, you know, I don't think we planned this out very well. It was actually kind of funny. I think we're actually laughing our asses off.
And what did the cops say then? What did they say to you?
No, they basically summed it up at a glance and realized, okay, in other words, oh, Caucasians, never mind. Conduct your business, gentlemen.
What did they say? What did they say? What did they say to you?
No. You could tell the cop was just like checking us out, you know, and then just, you know, nodded and just rolled along.
And what did he say? Did the sirens go off?
No, I think we're about to. I think they squawked for a second just to get our attention.
Put your hands up. Lie down. Face on the pavement.
Well, let's not even talk about civil forfeiture laws. Oh, well, obviously some of this marijuana, I mean, obviously some of this money has been contaminated by CDS, so obviously it has to be a drug deal. Let's get off the, anyway.
So what did they say? So they let you go?
No, they didn't. They just rolled up on us, investigated. You could tell they were like checking us out pretty hard until they realized, oh, and rolled up.
What did they say? What did you say? I'm just buying a watch.
No, he didn't approach us, but you could tell they were rolling up on us. You know, didn't get out of the car, but they checked us out and thought, okay, and then ran off.
They didn't even talk to you.
No.
Okay.
But I thought it would have been funny had we been frisked and spread eagle. Two old fucks.
Now tell me this, Clyde.
Yeah.
What made you buy this watch? Tell me that.
Well, like I said, you've told me a couple of times about the bubble back. I've had other people suggest the bubble back, and I looked it over, and I have to admit, there's just something about it I like.
Yep. No. I agree with you. Now, just to give you a spread here of what else, that watch also did come in steel and two-tone. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
So I'm just going to bring that screen up now, Clyde. Just bear with me. Here we go, Clyde. This is in steel and two-tone. So that's very, very true. That's exactly what it looks like. You'd agree with that there, don't you, Clyde? Look at that.
Yes.
It's got that bezel looks right. They used that on the steel one, and the two-tone actually they have smooth bezel. But yep, no, it's definitely right there. I must say I don't see many Explorer dial versions on this. This is just a Google search. I just Google search Rolex and 6085. I don't see any ones with the Explorer dial there. So oh, here's one. European Watch had one, a two-tone one. Yep. I wonder what they would have charged for that. And it's a 6085. Yes, as we said there, it's an Oyster Perpetual semi-bubble back, 1952. Yeah, it's a semi-bubble back. That's right. Yeah, because I said to you it wasn't a bubble back. It's a semi-bubble back. I actually, to be honest with you, the semi-bubble back, actually this one at European Watch, look at that beautiful textured dial. That's actually quite quite gorgeous. Oh, it's sold. They don't tell us what it's sold for. 1952. Yep, that sounds similar vintage. 14 karat and steel. Yep, yep. Clyde, I think you can actually get a gold Rolex buckle. Did you know that? I have seen those. You can pick those up. A Rolex buckle. Sorry, Clyde. What are you doing there? So, oh, you do already. Put that again on the camera. That's gold or steel, that one? It's gold.
It looks like it's gold. It kind of looks like the rest of the watch.
Is that an original one or it's an aftermarket one?
I think it's original.
Wow. Wow. You didn't get boxed with it, of course. No box.
No. No.
They have a very interesting box, those early, but that's okay. I mean, no one keeps. I mean, that's impossible to get. I think it's a beautiful watch. It's a beautiful watch. It's very fair price. Very fair price. I mean, look. They are a bit soft because they are considered a bit small. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
But 34 mil. You got to remember, 1950s. That was considered a pretty big watch. That was nothing small about that. That was because it didn't have a date. This is before the date just. Actually, the date just came out in 45, didn't it? When the date just come out?
45, I think, or 46. The Jubilee bracelet, I know, was introduced in 45 for the date just.
Yep. So, but the thing is, this is kind of beautiful in itself. This is kind of a beautiful piece. I don't think you could be unhappy with that, could you? Could you be unhappy with that?
No, and actually, I thought about you because you released a couple of videos and you're saying how cool they were. And I was actually thinking, here's one with an Explorer dial.
Yeah, that's very, very cool indeed. I mean, that's very, very cool indeed there, Clyde. And I take it you have done the Chrono 24, the Mini-On Chrono 24. That's our reference point. Chrono 24. Are the Mini there, or what's the go?
There's not. I think in the United States there might
Rolex
be one other.
608.5. I'm just doing a check now. There's 31 there, Clyde. There's a few, and they're way more expensive than yours. Can we tell the audience what you paid?
$4,500.
Okay, I thought you said it was 2.5.
No, 20. It was going to be 22 for the small one, but he showed me the big one, and I couldn't help but, God damn it, I just realized how that sounds.
Yep. Okay.
The 18.
So the smaller one, when you say smaller, you mean the bubble back?
Right.
It was a bubble back, like I just had on the screen
it was a
before.
bubble.
And that was 2.5.
No, 22.
That was a gold bubble back?
14 karat, yes.
Amazing. Original dial?
No, resurfaced dial.
I don't know if I'd buy one.
I remember what you told me about the keep the original dial at all costs.
Just having a look at Chrono. So you paid what was it, 4.5, was it?
4.5.
I got to be honest with you. That's not terrible. There's one in Switzerland for 9.4. Sorry, in Hong Kong for 9.4. And it's got a similar dial, slightly better dial. I think it's a honeycomb dial. I think just having a look.
Well,
yeah, but
honeycomb is big. Yeah.
But still, a Explorer dial is nothing to be sneezed at. That's a great dial. You can't really complain about that, can you? And I don't think the money is ridiculous. I mean, he's probably on the money, you know. I honestly would say he's probably. I think it's this Uber Oki guy. I would normally say, hey, it's a bargain, but I think this guy's as sharp as a shithouse rat. Your friend is as sharp as a shithouse rat, so I don't think he'd be letting bargains go, so to speak. But I think
is he giving it away? No. On the other hand, I kind of think he's making an exception for me. You know what? That's one of the things he was actually talking. We were sitting there talking about it after we thought we'd got arrested.
Yeah.
And basically, he's like, I'm 77. I don't have that much time left. That thing has been sitting in my safe for 15 years. You know, my family doesn't really appreciate it. My kid doesn't. My kid's not into watches. My grandkids kind of. He said they would care about a Submariner. The rest of it, they would just throw in a box if they even looked at it. It's like, I want someone to enjoy it.
Actually, that is actually very interesting, Clyde. Yeah, I think it's definitely a bug. I think it's definitely, you'd have to buy it. I mean, look, I'm not in a position to buy it myself, right? As we know, but my collection itself is I've gone into vintage before. Vintage probably isn't my cup of tea, but I do have a respect. I think if you love horology, you have to have a respect for the older models, and I would love to have that in my collection. I tell you what, for 4.5, which, okay, you'd put that into Aussie dollars. What's that? 4.5 is about 6.
30,000.
So that was 4.5. Look, 4.5 is still very good buying. I don't think that is I don't think it's definitely not expensive.
Well, I flipped the
okay,
polar.
It's 5.9. You flip the polar.
Yep. Made a quick $500. Actually, to Nasty Vinyl Cody, because Sharp Kid, he wanted one of the Archie 5. No, he wanted 2. He followed your advice and got the Omega Speedmaster, and he was dying for that Polar Explorer.
Wow, that's look, you've got the type of collection you've got, Clyde. You've got newish pieces, so you've got things to wear every day, but it's nice to have a vintage piece. I got to tell you the truth. I'm actually looking at a vintage piece at the moment.
What's her name?
Boom, 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 boom. I actually got a watch dealer friend of mine, Ian the watchmaker. You know, Ian the watch dealer.
Right.
I've told him to look out for an Omega Speedmaster Mark II. I had a Mark II a couple of months ago, I think last year, and I sold it. But I've thought, oh, you know something? That was a really cool piece. So Mark II Speedmaster, it would be that's late 60s, early 70s era, right? Mark II. I've asked him
before the Moonwatch, though, right?
No. Speedmaster Mark II was the model after the Moonwatch, because the Speedmaster Professional is the Mark I. They don't call it a Mark I, but that was invented in the late 50s, right?
Yes.
And then in the 70s, Omega got really excited. Yes, we've gone to the moon, yada, yada, yada. And they came up with a completely revised version. And NASA, like you Americans do, they told them to piss off. We're not going to waste 1 cent of energy testing your new watch because we've already certified the other one. Why would we waste our time? And the Swiss, they were a bit upset, I believe. They were very upset and said, oh, well, okay. Because they put all this effort into this new design. It was very, you know, the Mark II. I had a Mark II. You know the Mark II.
Right.
Omega has reissued it. You can get a racing dial. I want to get one probably with the non-racing dial. Just you know, just really cool. I'm
sorry. One of the live comments is I'm looking over and it's just making me. Do you ever read those things or not?
No.
Okay.
I got staff to do that. Suckerhorn does that for me.
Well, I gotta say, Europile, the Archie 5, divorce. Okay, sorry. I think we've got to
just read that. Read the 5. Divorce.
Divorce, debt, obesity, retardation, and moles.
That's it.
And horns.
That's exactly it there. No, look, I got to tell you, Clyde. Look, I got to tell you, I think that's very nice buying. I don't have the money to buy it at the moment. No, I don't. It's I think that's a very special watch. To the right buyer,
Yeah, actually,
that could be worth that could be a $7,000 watch to the right buyer. But as we said, you're not really doing this for money. You're doing this because you love the watches.
A Polar Explorer is $7,000. Wait, did I hear you correctly?
No. Your semi-bubble back.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about the Polar Explorer. I'm like,
no.
I know you're a fan of the Polar. Let's not get carried away.
No. I'm talking about the bubble back you've bought, the semi-bubble back you've bought, the 6085. That's really quite a cool piece. And I
still have the.
I gotta tell you something. I thought it was a 60. No. I got the reference. The one I had was a different reference. I still think, in all honesty, that's a great watch to have there. You could go down the vintage. I don't think I would necessarily sell that 6085 if I owned it. That's really a keeper. That's a real special watch because it's original dial. Okay, it's not honeycomb. And there's a little bit of dial blemish there, right? Yes.
Well, and honeycomb is big. Yeah. It's not small. No.
Nothing wrong with your dial there. I mean, honeycomb is just a textured surface. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah. It's enormous in the watch world. It's big. Honeycomb is big. Absolutely agree with you. Yeah.
But an Explorer dial, original dial, that's more important than any of that crap. It's still beautiful. That's a very, very, very beautiful piece. I would probably, if I was you, would you add a it depends how you want to grow the collection. What other pieces does Uber Oki have in his sealed safe there like that?
It's hard. I mean, literally, it's kind of like James Dean. What are you rebelling against? What do you got?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say something. I mean, literally, I'll just mention something, and he basically has one or two.
I see.
You know, one thing at a time. And like I said, he's almost, he's like getting the art of the flip. He finally basically, and he's been telling me, Clyde, you're hoarding. You're like an infant clutching on. You want to grab something, you don't want to let go. You got to learn how to let go to get the next.
You have let go of a few things.
A couple, yeah, and I've also put the. Oh! Now I remember what else. Okay, We're talking about you're talking about the date, right? The oyster date.
Yes.
In one of the past videos, something occurred to me. I took a photograph of the oyster date, the 1500 by the Polar Explorer 2. Did you have a chance to look that over in your iMessages or not?
No, you can hear. I'll just have a look now.
Well, it's something. It struck me as, what the.
Okay, go on.
It's more evidence of Rolex's Fonzie scheme.
Tell me what's the thing?
Well, everyone is looking at. Oh, well, obviously, the oyster date is too small. It is so incredibly small. You can't use it. You don't want it. You don't need it. You can't have it. But then when you stick it next to the Exploder 2, side by side, the actual watch faces are almost exactly the same.
Yeah, because it does have that bezel, that big, thick bezel on the Explorer 2.
So the Exploder 2, basically it's the same watch size. So the part that you actually use to tell time are the same. You're just paying a lot more for that thick bezel, which doesn't even rotate. I mean, you've been telling us about this.
It doesn't need to rotate. But
well,
what was that old Explorer 2? Whose is that?
The black one or the old one?
The old one.
That was Mr. O'Brien. He's another attorney, and I run into him. He's always the first in Oklahoma City Municipal Court.
What's that silver thing it's encased in? I don't know.
Oh, it's a custom. It's some god-awful custom thing.
What is that for?
Yeah. That's his watch bracelet. But on the other hand,
why do you have a watch bracelet on that watch?
I don't know. I didn't buy him the watch. That's the way he rolls.
And he wears this watch?
He wears that watch. I never noticed it was an old Exploder 2.
Is he into watches, or he just bought that when that was current?
He got that one as current. And it's just like, by God, this is one I like. Looks good on this here bracelet.
Why don't you say, hey, would you swap for the newer one?
Not a bad idea. That's really underhanded and devious. I like it.
Yeah,
nice.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Wear your Explorer and say, hey, do you want to swap?
Yeah. Look, yeah, this one. Hey, this one's got an updated movement.
And you can keep your beautiful custom-made bracelet. It'll fit.
Yes, absolutely. I would absolutely insist upon it. So anyway, like I said, I heard you actually talking about Bubbleback a couple of times. And then when JR was telling me about it, he actually thinks that they're about to go back. Oh, sorry. Wristwatch check.
Yeah.
And like I said, like it. The more I look at it, the more I like it.
He thinks they're what? Sorry, say it again.
He thinks, well, of course, you know, they were really, really big in the 90s. Everyone's going just nutso, but then the big watch craze killed it.
It's the Bubbleback, you mean?
Right, the Bubbleback craze.
Yeah, just hang on there. 1 minute, 1 minute.
Sure.
Just hang on one tick there.
Hey, ArchieLuxury has been contacting. Did you ever get my... Okay, or you can wander off. That's fine. Great. How's everyone on the boards today? Yes, I know I'm not Suckerhorn. Yes, I know I suck because I'm not Suckerhorn. But on the other hand, you're not Suckerhorn, and you suck too. Can we talk about bangers on the next show? CLYDE likes to think his isn't small. I don't know what that means, but fine. Okay. I still, okay. Let's go back. Anyway, so what do you guys think about the, okay, Richie, what do you think about the, what the fuck did I just buy? Oh yeah, what do you think about the Bubbleback or semi-bubble? Okay, David Sittenbauer. Less money on horology and more on interior decoration. At least fix that damn velvet painting. Well, let's see, David. I'm sorry. I just came back from my job. So I'm a little tired. And also, you know, I hate to say it, but telling people how to spend their money, I wanted to vote for Bernie, and I wasn't that big of a socialist. Yes, I'm horny, lonely, and sad. I presume that's aimed at me. I need one of those Walmart BBWs. You haven't seen my ex-girlfriends. So, okay. Suckerhorn is boycotting the show due to CLYDE cornering the luxury watch market. I'm just watching. Bubblebacks are awesome. Okay, thank you, Richie. Awesome. Richie, real quick, your watch collection is so awesome, I probably could rub one out to it. You shouldn't treat a Monet like that. Look, I worked hard for that Monet. It was not aimed at me. Cool. Anyway, yeah, everyone is telling me my apartment sucks. No shit. Okay. How was your week? Oh, I actually got went and got some conspiracy and felony charges dropped this afternoon.
You did? Felony charges dropped.
Yeah, conspiracy, felony, and distribution of CDS. So, Ernie, good luck. Enjoy. You should be getting out by now. Awesome. And the sad part is, it's just like all these tattoos. He looks like fucking El Diablo from Suicide Squad. It's just like, you know, what were you thinking, boy?
How old is he?
Mid-20s. You know, and
I see.
Yeah, tattoos, guys. Think about tattoos. I actually had this one client in custody, and she was trying to convince the judge she was not part of the Irish mob when she had this fucking shamrock literally all up in here. I mean, Judge, look, I'm not really a part of the Irish mob. And I look over, I'm like, oh shit, motherfucker, just shut up. So anyway, yeah, if you don't want people to think you're part of the Irish mob, don't have a shamrock the size of a fucking grapefruit tattooed on your neck. Anyway, cool. How are you doing?
Hey, no. That's very, very good there indeed, CLYDE.
So anyway, actually, you've been on me on this for a while about not hoarding, and so is Uber. He's like, you know, I almost feel like you guys are like the fucking emperor. in Star Wars. But it's like, okay, I'll flip, it's like flip a watch, buy it well, flip it if it's there, if you don't absolutely aren't in love with it, and move on to the next piece. I'm not willing to back away completely from, remember, cats, flippers are failures, but I kind of see the point of it in a way. So I need to cut you a little bit more slack there, Pontiff.
Hey, Clyde, I need to take a break.
Another delivery from Pizza Pacoda and their patented backyard deliveries?
It's just, no, it's garlic bread. Clyde, I'm going to have to cut this one. What time is it where you are?
It's precisely 7 p.m. Oh, sorry.
7 p.m.
Hey, look, I'm Archie showing up by Patek.
Yeah. Clyde, I tell you what, give me half an hour. We'll come back again, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.